think about how a Black woman vice presidential candidate will be received by young Black women, I almost get, I get chills of joy. But then when I think about how our precious girls will receive such an appointment, here's why. Because there is such truth in the saying, if you see one, you can be one.
That statement so true. Well, 1 year ago, a Black vice presidential candidate was merely a possibility. Now, in 2021, stands before you the first Black and first female vice president. Let's talk about girl power. I recently spoke to mothers and daughters who expressed to me what this moment and this inauguration symbolizes for them.
Dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourselves in a way that others may not, simply because they've never seen it before. But know that we will applaud you every step of the way.
It did add a light at the end of the tunnel, per se, for people all over the world to have this feeling of hope.
I'm so interested. L-E. Mm-hmm.
To little girls from coast to coast, the L in Kamala spells leadership. The H in Harris represents hard work.
Help everyone.
Okay.
And do hard work.
Mm-hmm.
The color of the new vice president's skin speaks to many possibilities now available for these hopeful Black and brown girls.
That I was happy and I was excited because it was the first woman and the first Black one.
A daughter of Jamaican and Indian immigrants, these girls see a reflection of themselves in Vice President Harris.
She has the same heritage as me, and since she has the same heritage as me, it makes me feel like I could do anything.
Kamala Harris's rise in politics has brought forth important conversations between these mothers and their daughters.
She followed the entire election. She even stayed up late on election night to see the results. But our conversations was basically for her to see that it is possible.
We got an article and we saw what she did before that.
Yep.
She was a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we
talked about all the things that she wanted to change, right?
Yeah.
In this country when she became vice president.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. District Attorney, California's Attorney General, the second Black female U.S. Senator. Harris is a political powerhouse, and now two historic firsts. She is the first Black and the first female vice president of the United States.
So I explained how significant that was right now at such a young age, because if Miss Kamala Harris can do it, then that means there's possibilities for other women to do it as she gets older.
It is really important for me to point out people like Kamala to say, I understand you may not see this very often, but look what you can do.
Amber Roberts rushed out and bought Barbie for President 2020 this past Christmas for her 6-year-old daughter who dreams to become a mayor one day.
I told my husband, we have to order this Barbie no matter the cost, because this is something that, for one, Elise is able to see that history is being made.
The infectious hope has given Bree Gordon and Natalie Brown an extra ounce of inspiration to add to their future book, My Dear Brown Daughter.
Black girls like me can see it and think they're important and
That they can do anything, right?
And while they believe she can do the job, they also know
it's tough being a vice president.
So they're wishing Vice President Harris the best of luck and send her a heartfelt message.
Hope you have a good term. When I grow up, I want to be just like you and be brave enough to do what you can do. If I could tell Miss Kamala Harris anything, I would tell her thank you so much for helping out all the Black girls just like me.
My favorite story. Well, one of the things I love the most about this story is the girls' parents say this allowed them to teach their daughters the importance of voting. Well, just ahead, President Biden wasting no time making moves as president. After the break, his plan to help Americans avoid eviction and foreclosure. This is BNC Morning. Stay with us.
President Joe Biden wants to extend bans on evictions and foreclosures for Americans affected by the coronavirus pandemic. Biden will call on several federal departments and agencies, asking them to take steps to extend the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's federal moratorium on eviction for non-payment of rent until at least the end of March. There's an estimated 25 million renters and homeowners at risk of losing their homes. The CDC orders first went into effect in September, and the latest stimulus bill extended the protection until January 31st. While Biden's action will provide some immediate protections, administration officials say it's not enough. Biden is also asking Congress to approve a COVID relief bill that would provide $35 billion in rent, utilities, and homelessness relief. President Trump is temporarily banned from social media out of fear he will incite further violence. His base attack on the nation's capital ended up leaving 5 people dead. And in the wake of that carnage, many now worry, did social media fuel the violence? And could it have played a bigger role in stopping it? But others pointing an inciting finger at a law that shields those sites, as BNC's Tashani Whitlow reports.
Section 230 is the most important law protecting internet speech. And removing Section 230 will remove speech from the internet.
And here's why. Section 230 under the Federal Communications Act provides every website, especially social media sites like Facebook and Twitter, from being sued over the content its users post. President Trump, who is now suspended after his tweets and rhetoric of a stolen election, incited a deadly attack on Capitol Hill. 5 people were killed, including a Capitol Hill police officer. And Trump became the only president to be impeached twice.
Article 2 is adopted.
Trump, a staunch opponent of Section 230, feels social media platforms are biased. After 4 years of uncensored tweets and misinformation about the pandemic, voter fraud, and conspiracy theories, companies like Twitter installed a fact-checking warning and flagged several of the president's tweets, and even threatened a permanent suspension. Criticism has been bipartisan for different reasons. Some say if you censor one, you must police them all. So the president went after them, and lawmakers grilled the tech giants on Capitol Hill.
How many times has Steve Bannon allowed the call for the murder of government officials before Facebook suspends his account?
Senator, no, that's not what our policies would suggest that we should do in this case.
Back in December, after lawmakers finally agreed on another round of stimulus money,